Hello. I don't have my armrest is all the way, actually it slants forward just a little bit. I don't know. We're still in Double Chin City, so like, you know, it doesn't get much better than that. Hi. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm coming at you live today. It is a Tuesday. It is 2 p.m. and I edited my video that is going to post in the morning, and I've just been rolling through it in my head, kind of playing devil's advocate. So I kind of want to address some things because I was only talking about one side of the conversation, and some things have kind of rolled through my mind that I would like to make kind of an addendum or a part two, if you will, whatever. But yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you're, sounds really silly and narcissistic, but if you're new to my channel, my name is Becca, and I am a wife and a mother and a human and a woman and all of those things in no particular order, except that my husband's my favorite person on the planet. So I think maybe if I had to choose, I would say wife first, and then mother, because my son is my second favorite human on the planet. If you have been watching my channel, I had spoken about pretty early on potentially being pregnant, and then thinking that I went through a miscarriage, and turns out it was not a miscarriage. Turns out I still am pregnant with a growing little monkey in my belly. Very, very excited, very nervous, because my firstborn is 9 months old today, and I am 11 weeks along with my second pregnancy. So hopefully it's still a little early. Hopefully things continue on in a healthy way, in a healthy manner. And yeah, so if my posting has been sporadic, which it has been, that is why I want to try and be super consistent. I already missed 1 week, and that was also due to some other family circumstances that are going on, but I want to be as consistent as possible and just keep chugging on through this awkward first stage of a YouTube channel where you're getting basically no views. So I want to keep pressing forward. But anyway, this is a very long intro, and it's just completely unnecessary and way too much personal information, and who knows if I'll even put it in here, but if I do, what's up? Anyway, the part two to what I was saying yesterday is because I didn't address any sort of male promiscuity. I only talked about how it's different when females are promiscuous than when males are promiscuous, and I feel like it's kind of a gimme for a lot of the audience members who maybe disagree with me, and that's totally fine. I like, please disagree with me. I do want to know your arguments and your side of the story. Let me hear it. But if you do disagree with me on the premise of the fact that I was basically just talking about females, here's the male side of things, the male perspective of things from the mind of this little peanut brain here. I believe that males are promiscuous and can be and choose to be and want to be and fall victim to promiscuity for a multitude, well, honestly, not even a multitude of reasons. There's a multitude of what I just said, of all those things, but I believe that they fall into promiscuity because they're hardwired that way. And a big problem that I think people have with that is that they see it as wrong, and that's okay. You can see male promiscuity and infidelity as being wrong, 1000%. That is your prerogative. That's up to you. However, where I come from on a lot of these things, and maybe I need to start adding them into the conversation, is the fact that it doesn't matter whether you think it's right or wrong. Here are the facts of the situations. I'm very much operating from a mindset of facts don't care about your feelings. Not to say that your feelings don't matter on an individual basis. You know, talk to your friends and your family about your feelings, but also on the objective horizon, these are just facts. And I'm not saying my opinions are facts. I'm talking about the big picture of facts. And I'm so sorry. My air conditioning is blasting rather. And hopefully you can hear me over all of that. And I know you can't see me except for my giant sunglasses, but hopefully you can hear me. If not, you know, we're going to have to take to this mother trucker. That's a lot of a lot of nothing that I just said, and let me just get to the point. I apologize. My point is that I think that males fall into promiscuity, which is a different conversation than whether or not you like it or whether or not you think it's right or moral. I think that males fall into promiscuity because they are hardwired to do so. Males fight for the female's affection, and the female is the one who's selective, right? She can, you know, look at a bunch of males and go, out of all of these 10 males standing in front of me, I'm going to go with the biggest and the baddest and the strongest. I'm going to go with that one right there. I'm going to go with contestant number big, bad, and strong. Versus, you know, males, they have to fight for a female's attention and affection, and at the end of the day, being chosen. Females are the choosy ones, where males are just trying to get one female to pick them. So they are trying to appeal to the masses of females to spread their bloodline, right? And so let's think about that logically, where a male is trying desperately to be chosen by a female. They're trying to be the biggest, the strongest, most aggressive, all of these different things. And so when they do land a female, it's kind of like a badge of honor because they're in competition. And when you're in competition, when you win the prize, it's like, party on, dude. I believe that's where males fall into promiscuity, because the more females you are sleeping with, the more status you feel that you have ascertained, right? As a male, thinking about it from the male perspective, coming at the male perspective from a female perspective. So I could be completely off base here, but this is just the way I see things. And to me, it makes a lot of sense from a biological standpoint that then translates and gets washed all the way down to 2023, where we're at in a civilized Western society. But I do believe that males are promiscuous because they see females as prizes. And I know that that makes a lot of feminists angry, but at the end of the day, how angry can you be at the fact that you're a prize? You're the thing that everyone wants. How can you be upset about that? Stop taking that offensively. It's a compliment. I don't understand why that's such an offensive thing to females. And I do know why, because the feminist movement has twisted everything into being toxic, and it doesn't need to be that way. It's not that complicated. You're beautiful and wonderful, and a man wants to mate with you. Sorry about it. I don't know what to tell you. So males see females as prizes, and what do we do as competitive humans? When you are in sports, what do you do with all of your trophies? You hang them up on your wall, right? You hang up your medals, you put your trophies on your shelves, and you have a wall of accolades showing off all of these things that you've accomplished in your life, right? That's what we do as humans, is when we're proud of something, we tend to show it off. And I do think that in a very simplistic way, that is what men do. That's how they operate in the world, is that they're hardwired that way. That's it. Honestly, that's kind of the part two to this, is that men are promiscuous by nature because they're competitive with other males. And at the end of the day, boil everything down, get rid of society, get rid of all of our privileges, get rid of everything. What is left? Survival, right? And survival comes down to males and females procreating and making new life. And so I think at the end of the day, that's how we're hardwired. Males are hardwired to spread their seed and plant their seed, and females are hardwired to be selective because they have to pick carefully. And when a female, like I said yesterday, when a female is promiscuous, she's playing with fire. And it just doesn't make any sense. It goes against biology. Our biology is to be selective. Our biology says, don't sleep around. Find the best mate and stick with that one, because that mate is going to take care of you and your offspring. And so when you are being promiscuous, you are going against biology. And males see that in you and go, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That leaves me feeling kind of icky, because you're not doing what you're biologically meant to do. And like I said yesterday, you know, we're living in a first world society. We are far, far removed from our innate biology, survival lizard brain modes. So we have freedom to bend the rules of biology, but at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think we can break those rules. You can't really fault them for that. That's not something that they chose. That's how males are hardwired. And so, you know, you can feel a certain way about it, but at the end of the day, I think what's more important is that you understand it. And not only that we understand it as females, but that males understand that as well, so then they can then operate differently in the world and choose to do the moral thing and the correct thing and go, you know what, I really want to sleep around and I really want to be this alpha male who has a bunch of girls under my belt and I have a lot of trophies on the wall and all these things, but I'm going to choose to save myself, or I'm going to choose to be very, very selective with my females. That's where cognitive consciousness comes into play versus just our lizard brains. I don't fault men for being red-blooded, sexually driven individuals. They can't help it. That's the way they're built. I respect a man who chooses to be loyal despite the fact that his body and his biology is telling him to go around and do other things. You're hard-pressed to find a good man who can deny his bodily desires of other women and trophy seeking and, you know, wanting to compete at the end of the day with other males. Because, you know, that's a big part of it too, honestly, is not even really about sleeping with females, but competing with other males. Of just like, hey, back off, this is mine, look at all of these things that I have and you can't have them. So there's a part of this conversation that honestly has nothing to do with females, which is kind of sad. Whatever, you can take that however you want to take it. And again, this is just one female's opinion on the male perspective, but a lot of it also has to do with just beefing up in comparison to the male, you know, standing next to them. So, I don't know. That's kind of all I have to say about that. Is humans are complex. We have lizard brains, but we also have very cognitive, emotional, high intelligence capabilities as well. And so balancing those two things is not always easy. And I think we need to be more gracious with each other. I think we need to, as females, be worthy of being chosen and be more selective in who we're choosing, right? And males need to tighten up, keep it in your pants, do a little better that way, make women work a little harder for it, and therefore will make you work a little bit harder for it, and iron sharpens iron and we all get better. When this whole dating pool that's just toxic and horrible and everyone's treating each other terribly will hopefully just kind of dissipate. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's just one woman's opinion on a very complex subject. And that's just one little boy's opinion on car rides. Tell us more, Casey James. Tell us more. All right, y'all. I'm going to go. I'm picking up my stepson right now. We're excited to go see him. Casey loves his brother. It is the cutest freaking thing in the world. I'm excited to see him. Let's go do it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully you enjoyed another rambling of mine. I'll talk to you soon. Drink your water, take your vitamins, eat whole foods, and be nice to each other. Ready, go!